Daily English Podcast.
From Daily English with Daisy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Daily English with Daisy. I'm Daisy.
And I'm Paul, your favorite procrastinator. Hello, everyone.
You are honest, Paul. Last week, we talked about stress. Today, we are talking about something very related to stress, procrastination.
Oh, I am an expert in this. I think our listeners will relate to this too. Daisy, my week started with a big project. A report was due on Friday.
And what did you do on Monday morning?
Well, I didn't start the report. I thought I need a clear desk first, so I spent 2 hours organizing my pens. Then I thought I should make a nice healthy lunch for good energy. That took another hour.
So you were doing busy tasks, but not the important one.
Exactly. And then I suddenly needed to know how long it takes to fly from London to Tokyo. It wasn't important, but I spent 30 minutes looking at flight routes. And by 3 p.m., I was tired and I just felt this huge wave of guilt.
That feeling of guilt is key, Paul. We all know that horrible cycle. So in this episode, we will explain why we do this and how to stop it without feeling like a failure.
Daisy, let's start with the definition again. What is the difference between simply delaying something and procrastinating?
That's a great question, Paul. Good time management often requires us to delay a task. For example, delaying a small chore to focus on a big, important work project. That is smart.
So, smart delay versus bad delay.
Correct. Procrastination is the bad delay. It is when you avoid a task that you know is important and you choose something less important or easier instead. The key difference is that you expect this choice to have negative consequences, like missing a deadline or low-quality work.
And I always thought this happened because I was lazy.
That is the biggest misconception, Paul. A lot of research shows that procrastinators are actually people who care too much.
Too much? How can I care too much?
Because you are afraid of the result. When you have high standards, we call this perfectionism, you worry about the quality. You think, what if my report isn't perfect? What if my boss doesn't like it? What if people judge me?
That is exactly what I think. So the fear of failure is stronger than the desire to work.
Precisely. Laziness is when you have no energy and you feel apathy. You don't care. Procrastination is the opposite. You care deeply, but the negative emotions surrounding the task are so strong that your body seeks a quick escape. Let's talk about the brain, Paul. When you sit down to start that scary report, your brain activates an alarm system.
The amygdala, right? The one that thinks my report is a monster.
Yes, the amygdala is your brain's guard dog. Its job is to protect you from pain, whether it is physical pain or emotional pain. The report creates emotional pain, stress, and fear.
So the guard dog starts barking.
Yes, and its barking is louder than the quiet voice of the other part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex. This is the planner, the long-term thinker. It tells you, you need to finish this report to be successful next month.
But the guard dog is shouting, "Look, funny cats. Go watch the cats, quick relief."
And in that moment of high stress, the quick relief wins. You avoid the report. You feel a small, temporary lift in mood. And this is the danger, Paul. This is the reinforcing feedback loop.
The loop?
Yes. When you watch the cats, your stress goes down for a minute, right? Your brain learns, I was stressed, I procrastinated, the stress went away. It links procrastination to feeling better.
So, the next time I feel stressed about work, my brain automatically tells me to watch Cats again because it worked last time.
Exactly. Even though the long-term consequence is more stress, the short-term reward is powerful. This is why many frequent procrastinators suffer from anxiety and feelings of shame, because the relief is temporary, but the guilt stays.
So, the traditional advice is be more disciplined or work harder, but you are saying that doesn't work.
It can make things worse. If you are too hard on yourself, you just add more emotional stress to the task. Remember, the goal is to calm the guard dog. We need to reduce the threat.
Okay. So, how do we start being kind to ourselves? What does self-compassion really mean when I've just wasted 3 hours?
It means treating yourself like you would treat a good friend. If your friend failed, would you shout at them and call them lazy?
No, I would say, it's okay. Let's make a new plan.
Exactly. So when you slip up, don't say, I'm a failure. Say these phrases. This is hard, but I am trying. Or, it's okay to feel stressed right now. This is called mindful self-compassion, accepting the feeling without judgment.
That is much easier than self-criticism. And you mentioned journaling?
Yes. Try writing down why you are stressed about the task. Understanding the fear reduces its power. If you write, I am scared the report won't impress the team, then you can address the fear, not the task. You realize the problem is your perfectionism, not your ability.
Okay. I have calmed my mind a little. Now, how do I start the scary task? You said to break it down.
Into tiny steps. We talked about the 2-minute rule. If the first step takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. The goal is to create a small win that builds momentum.
So, not write the report, but open the document. And then?
Then maybe write 3 bullet points for the introduction. We can also add structure with a famous technique called Pomodoro.
Pomodoro? Like a tomato?
Yes, like a tomato. It means you focus only on the task for 25 minutes, and then you take a 5-minute break. This works because 25 minutes is short enough that your guard dog brain doesn't see it as a huge threat.
I like that. I can focus for 25 minutes. But what if I don't finish the whole report in 25 minutes?
This is important. Focus on the process, not the goal. The goal is finish the report. The process is work for 25 minutes. Your only job is to follow the process. If you follow the process, the goal takes care of itself. My second practical strategy is about the environment. We have to make the bad choice difficult and the good choice easy.
Like putting my phone in the kitchen?
Yes, but we also have to deal with digital distractions. Do you need the internet for your report?
Yes, sometimes, but sometimes I check the news for just 1 minute.
That 1 minute is the trap. You can use simple apps that block social media or news websites for a short time, maybe for your 25-minute Pomodoro session. This is called friction. We add friction to the bad habit.
So I put a barrier in front of the distraction. What about planning?
This is powerful. It's called pre-commitment. Before you log off for the day, plan the very first step for tomorrow. For example, open the document, write the date, and save it.
Why do that?
Because when you sit down tomorrow, the start is already done. You don't have to face the blank page or make a decision. You make the start automatic, so your emotional brain cannot stop you. You make the work easy for future Paul.
That's smart. Now, let's talk about schedules. You mentioned task blocking versus time blocking. Can you give me a clear example of task blocking?
Of course. Time blocking, traditional. You write 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., work on Section A of the report. The problem is, if you don't finish Section A, you feel like you failed the whole hour. Task blocking, recommended, you write AM focus, complete Section A. 9 a.m., start with the 2-minute rule. 9:05, Pomodoro Session 1 on Section A. 9:35, Pomodoro Session 2 on Section A.
The goal for the morning is clear. Complete Section A. If it takes me until 11 a.m., I still finished my task and feel successful.
Exactly. Focus on completing a specific task instead of just filling an hour. This provides clear victories and builds momentum without the shame of falling behind the clock. Use self-compassion, simplify the start, and control your environment.
I feel like I have a whole toolbox now, Dizzy. Thank you.
You are very welcome, Paul. We can change this habit. Now, let's move on to our final recap. Paul, let's quickly recap our most important points.
Okay. Procrastination is not laziness. It's an emotional reaction to fear of failure. It's a fight between the amygdala, the guard dog, and the prefrontal cortex, the planner. The temporary relief creates a bad feedback loop. The solution is self-compassion and breaking tasks down using the 2-minute rule.
Excellent. I hope our listeners realize that if they procrastinate, they are just being human. This is not a personal failure. It is a habit we can change by being kind to ourselves and taking small, easy steps.
I feel ready to tackle my next big project now. Thank you, Daisy, for making us feel better about ourselves.
You are very welcome, Paul. Remember to be patient with yourself and celebrate those small wins. That is the key to changing the cycle.
Absolutely. Thank you for listening to Daily English with Daisy.
We'll talk to you all next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.